This is our video number 2 for this 40-ton Riedel 460 volt process cooler. I did just put the all the side covers on here so it doesn't go into high pressure alarm, because we do need all these side covers on for the appropriate airflow. And I believe there's five fans up above on top of the chiller. This lower cover here we just kind of have leaning on up against the end of the frame for no other reason than our power wiring's coming in here, but there's enough CFM so it won't trip on high pressure with just this little gap here. Once this is in place, there's a viewing window here so you can see this glycol sight glass tube also. So we have power to the unit on these European models. 0 is off, or O is off, 1 is on. So we're just gonna turn the unit on here. Then our green light comes on, which is telling us that our secondary pump or our process pump is turned on. Actually, both pumps are running right now. The temperature control unit's in centigrade, as are many chillers. The set point range on this is 4C, which is about 40F, up to 25C, which is approximately 72F as far as fluid set point goes. To change the set point, all you do is you hold in the set key while pressing either the up or the down arrow. So this is my set key. I'm going to press down, and I'm going to bring it down to 4C. So if I press set again, it should show 4C now. Yep. And there'll be a little bit of a compressor delay. I can't remember if it's 60 seconds or so until it does turn on. On our controller here, the lights on the left here, 1, 2, 3, 4. That tells you if compressor 1, 2, or 3 is operating. 4 is not used because it's not a 4 compressor system. This indicator light here is when our fans are on. The one above is for when our pumps are on. Then we have a series of fault indicator lights here. We'll grab the cheat sheet. The full manual for this is in soft copy, posted on our website. We'll send some of the key pages along with the chiller. So there's alarm status lights from left to right are common fault alarm, temperature alarm, low water level, pump error, and I can hear the chiller turning on, compressor 1, refrigeration malfunction, high pressure alarm, and low pressure alarm. You can see our lights on the left. Compressor 1 is started, compressor 2 is started, and we're starting to chill. Now we got all 3 of them going, and you can hear the fans on too, by the fan indicator light. Obviously this is a 3-phase machine. When you first connect the power, bump one of the contactors and have somebody down below with a flashlight. I can't really see it now. There's somebody down below with a flashlight looking at the back of your pump, and there's an arrow there showing the rotation. Typically on pumps, the rotation will be clockwise when looking at the shaft end as opposed to the impeller end, to confirm that you have the right phase rotation. If you don't have the right phase rotation, disconnect your main power back at your panel, and then swap any of the 3 hots, L1, L2, or L3. As far as piping going out to your process, again, we have 2-inch process piping here. Because we have a 2-pump system, meaning it has its own chiller loop internal pump, combined with the fact that there's a safety valve or a pressure relief bypass valve on the process pump, you don't have to you don't have to pipe in your own bypass valve on your process piping, because it's all taken care of internally. So if I shut this valve off there completely, that internal process pump will just bypass right to the internal flow with its spring-loaded bypass. So our set point is at 4C. The chiller and centigrade will come down to probably 4/10 below that set point, and then it will wait till it comes to about 4/10 above the set point before it turns back on again. Get my glasses on here to see if the hot gas is on or not. Sorry. Yeah. Our hot gas circuit is on. With these 3 compressors and I think 100 and something gallon tank, we're dropping that temperature pretty quickly, of course. Light, by the way, here that they call water deficiency. I guess that's just an elaborate name for water level. It's nice to have that. If your glycol tank level gets too low, that alarm will go off. In fact, any of these key alarms, if they ever do go off, they're what they call latching. So you would, obviously you want to diagnose it, see why they're happening. But it does mean you'd have to recycle the power to turn the chiller back on. Typically we wouldn't have our cover open here. But in our shop setting with a licensed technician, we can do that. We got 5 condenser fans up above. The pressure limits we modified a little bit due to the slightly lower set point desired by our New York customer. We tweaked those and we actually reviewed those with the Riedel technician. We can always be called as the first line of questioning on startup if any questions. But Riedel, which is supported by Dimplex Thermal in Kalamazoo, Michigan, they're readily available also and actually have a great service team. The serial number tag faded away in its prior environment, but we'll have it a new one pasted on the inside of the control cabinet. Low ambient on this chiller, the low ambient feature is achieved by the fan switching based off of refrigerant pressure. So on a real cold winter day, you may only have one or even no fans running at a given point. Because if all the fans are running, we'd be taking away too much, effectively taking away too much heat and creating a low pressure scenario over the condenser coils. That button tells us our current high pressure, or low pressure rather. I can do it at the same time, and that's in bar. That's our low pressure if you press the down arrow at the same time. And if you just press this once, that shows you our high pressure. See it kicked out compressor 1. And I can just hear a hissing in the background, I believe, where we are bypassing a little bit right now. That's why you see the temperature decline slowing down quite a bit. With a load on the system, we may be stabilizing at that set point range for quite a long time. But obviously there's no load on the system right now.